The Eternals is directed by Chloe Zhao, and it's about a group of immortal beings created by the Celestials, which are basically the universe-creating beings to help watch over the universe to make sure that everything stays in order of their plan. One good thing about this movie is it's a Marvel movie, so it's already going to have the production quality and all. And so now the real question is once you got into 20 movies, which Marvel has, can you get a acclaimed director and writer to come direct a Marvel movie, which they've never done before, and it still maintain the high production and quality that you expect a Marvel movie to have, and then uplift it even higher. Overall, I think they do accomplish that to a certain extent. I don't know if it was as successful as they hoped. It's definitely a different Marvel movie. It's not unlike anything you've seen before, but it still has like the Marvel DNA that you expect. It has the laughs, it has the CGI of the big fight scenes, and it has the crossover of the shared universes where it hints at other things down the road. One good thing about this is the casting is a very wide range of casts that have very accomplished accolades. The best two performances are definitely Kumail Nanjiani and Angelina Jolie. I think both of them gave very good performances. The good highlight of this movie is the storytelling and backstory. If you don't know that much about the Eternals or the Celestials, this movie does a pretty good job at explaining all you need to know. And it does give basically 7,000 years of history about the Eternals and where they are today in current time, and does explain why they haven't been in the Marvel Universe until now. The other good thing is the action scenes. So Marvel film, so you know there's gonna have your big CGI action scenes, especially towards the end. This is no different. This might be some of the best action scenes I've seen in a Marvel movie in a long time. So that's a very good positive of it. There are some downsides. It's definitely not one of the top 10 Marvel movies in my opinion. And it's definitely probably one of the sloppier Marvel movies. I think part of the problem is its ambition and how big of a story this is. It's the fact that they managed to squeeze it in 2.5 hours is kind of impressive. But the fact that this movie is 2.5 hours, it does weigh on it from time to time, especially the first hour and a half. It kind of weighs. It's a lot of storytelling, it's a lot of exposition. It's not much is happening in the first hour and a half, in my opinion. It's the last hour that really you start to feel like it's a Marvel movie, and it starts to like elevate itself into feeling like, hey, this is actually like a really special Marvel movie. And it hadn't reached that point yet until an hour and a half inward, which is, to me, is too long. Like I already said, the fact that the first hour and a half is a lot of exposition, the plot just kind of gets bogged down. And you can really tell that Chloe Zhao is trying to tell a more deeper, more emotional story with the Eternals through the first hour and a half. And then she slowly starts to realize, hey, I gotta have like some of the Marvelisms in it. I gotta have the CGI fight scene and all. And it just kind of cuts in where you feel like every 30 minutes you have to have a big CGI fight scene. And so you got this shifting tone, and then the plot kind of just gets bogged down to the point where it just, at times, it's not very interesting, and sometimes it's very boring. The themes, now, I will give them credit. There are some really good themes about humanity, about choice, about free will. All those themes are very good. There's some themes that just didn't work for me personally, and I won't go into spoilers about them. Some people will like some of the themes in this movie, some people will hate it. That's probably why it got review bombed. Deep down, I think they succeeded in all the themes that they wanted to. Some were better executed than others, but I didn't have like a problem with any of the themes. It was just the execution in those themes weren't always the best that they should have been. Like I said again, I think another issue with it is the Marvelisms. Yeah, the big CGI fight scene. You have a lot of jokes. They both work, but at sometimes I think it was a detriment to telling a more emotional and thought-provoking story, and it caused the plot to be kind of uneven. So I think the next step in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is trying to get away from some of the Marvelisms where people know what to expect and kind of change that into something, have a more deeper and more emotional thought idea. Definitely stay for the end credits. There's 2 of them. They're really good, and they do hint at something like really spectacular. Overall, I would recommend this movie. Some people are going to love it. Some people are going to hate it. But I definitely don't think it's one of the top 10 Marvel movies. It's definitely probably the second best Marvel movie this year alone. I think Black Widow's probably below this one, just to put in a kind of scale. But I think overall they did a good job given the detail and information that they had to do, and then the fact that they managed to squeeze it in 2.5 hours. I think it paid off. I think the second Eternals movie, if they do one, will be better than this one, and I think that's the one that they're really hoping is where they get to show the true power, because towards the end you really get to see why the Eternals are good. I would like to know what y'all think, so please comment down below, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time.